Tuesday, October 1st, and this is my little kind of in-between week. I guess technically this is the start of my getting back to a 5K training. So this week is my first week back from Japan. I only have 3 runs scheduled. They are 10, 20, and 30 minutes, just trying to make sure that I can maintain what I did before. I did go on a run in Japan, and I did like 1.2 miles. It was almost 2 kilometers, I think, and it was broken up in 2 parts. So I have run in the last 2 weeks 1 time, but this week is really just about getting kind of back into my body, back into the habit, the mindset, everything. It is really dark, a lot darker than it was before I left, obviously. It's like 55 degrees outside in Connecticut at like 6 a.m. So it's actually feeling really, really nice. I did a little warm up in the apartment, so my heart rate's already just enough elevated that I'm not freezing. So yeah, here's hoping 10 minutes goes okay, and then we can just go on to the next thing. Don't mind me, I took my foot off the put my foot on the gas the last minute and a half. Pretty good. So I think for the first like 8.5 minutes, my cadence stayed pretty strong. It was the last minute and a half when I tried to kind of up it and go a little faster. Clearly I haven't run a lot in the last couple weeks, but felt pretty strong. No real calf pain, no real shin splint pain. I developed a weird twinge on the front of my left shin. It's always the left one, and I don't know if I pulled something or if it's a shin splint or what, but it's been bothering me since before we left Japan. But that doesn't even hurt that bad, so I think that was pretty successful. I've had literally the most chaotic morning. I got up at 2:45, which means at this point 9:50, right before I go into work. I've been up for 7 hours. I got very excited because today's Wednesday, which means I was supposed to do a brewery, a food truck, and D&D after work tonight. Work a short day, do 3 fun things. Awesome. No, apparently not. Anyway, so I got up, I made cookies for my D&D group, I did yoga like I was supposed to, I watched a little YouTube, took a shower and actually blew dry my hair, which, I mean, it's late in the grow up, but still. And as I was leaving, I got a message that the DM for my game is sick, which means there is no game tonight. I also tried 6 different times to record something about like meditations and ideas that I've been having about like running and my philosophy and approach to working out in general, and I've butchered every single one of them. So it's been 7 hours of me trying to compile my thoughts and getting excited about tonight, and then not having anything to be excited about tonight, having too many cookies, which is in fact a thing, and also not being able to compose my thoughts. And now I have to go work on 5 hours of sleep, which usually would be fine, but my body is currently convinced it's like 10 p.m., so great. Bro, since when, sir? Okay, so let's see. Wednesday, wash. I did everything I needed to do in the morning, went to work, went home, did nothing. Yesterday, decent. I did my 20-minute run, and I did it without stopping. I was actually 40 or 50 seconds faster, like my pace was faster. It was like a 12:08 pace, and my 10-minute run on Tuesday was like at like a 13-minute pace. Mostly I felt really good. My left shin is getting a little funky. I honestly think I developed like a full like shin splint on the front of my left shin carrying all my stuff through Japan. So we'll see how tomorrow's run goes. But this morning We're going to my favorite coffee shop. I know I showed you guys Birdhouse in, I think it's South Windsor before, but one of my favorite places in the world is Silk City in Manchester. I love it here so much. Everything is always very, like, it's so good. It's so well made. It's very artisanal. And while I was away, they started their fall seasons. And first off, if you are a pumpkin spice person, definitely stop by. They make their own pumpkin cream. It does taste like straight up like a pumpkin pie. When you get to the bottom of your cup, there is some pumpkin puree down there, so you have to be very devoted to the pumpkin, but it's so good. But my personal favorite, they do a brown butter rosemary latte, and I go buck wild for it. So we're gonna pick up my first one of the season, and then it's off to work. Maybe some pizza with some friends tonight, and then I need to do a little yoga, but I thought I'd use that as a nice wind down. So little update, lots of car updates. So yeah, I need this coffee so bad. Honestly, I could just live in there. I've had so many sips of my coffee already. And I do need to hurry or else I'm going to be late for work. But one thing that I didn't mention before I went in, that it's like I always know it, but sometimes I forget to say it. One of my absolute favorite things about Silk City is the emphasis that they put on community. Because first off, you can tell it's a very open community oriented space in there. But they always do this thing called Love Coffee, Love People. And it comes in like two parts. And one part is they always have like a monthly cookie. And some of the proceeds from selling those cookies specifically go towards whatever the charity of the month is. And I know that this month in October, it's a, I think it's like a domestic violence assistance program or halfway house or something like that. And they also have the Love Coffee, Love People board. And the intention of it is that if you need something, whether it's like a physical thing or assistance, a job, or just like a prayer, you write it down on the board. And then hopefully what happens is somebody in the community reads it, sees it, takes it, and follows up if they can and helps out, which I think is just, I think it's a wonderful thing that instead of having just a standard kind of bulletin board, they have dedicated the space to the needs of the community. So on top of everything being delicious and fantastic and me having focaccia bread and brown butter rosemary coffee for breakfast, I just think it's beautiful what they do for the community. So huge shout out to Silk City. They are my, no matter how many cute coffee shops I go to and show, they will forever be my favorite for that reason alone. Alright, so it is late on Friday, and by late I mean like 10 o'clock. I'm still very much feeling the time change from Japan, but I didn't do a full 15 minutes of yoga today, but I did do some nice yoga type stretching, especially trying to get into my hip. So I'm gonna set up. I have to run first thing tomorrow. It's an early morning run. And by early I mean like 7 a.m. Because then my husband and I have our breakfast date, and then we are going into the city for a very exciting Dungeons and Dragons type nerdy nonsense thing. There's this show called 20-Sided Tavern, and it's like a live interactive Dungeons and Dragons game, which is in and of itself very cool. But one of my favorite players, DMs, favorite people ever, Abria Iyengar, is going to be there. So I am very excited to get to go into the city tomorrow with my husband and be in the same room as her because she's a delight. So that will be tomorrow. All right, it's Saturday. It is time to do 30 minutes again. I am low-key extremely nervous. So hopefully I can just take it easy. 13-minute pace is the goal. We're not trying to rush for any mileage. And I'm hoping I can do it without too much pain in my shin. And I'll probably check in a couple times just as we progress. I'm thinking I might do a little bit over 2 miles, so here we go. I'm not even the first mile in, which is very evident because I'm having my first mile's a liar feels. The left leg's still kind of meh, but you know, it's usable. One, worst pace this week, but I'm going the farthest. So just still working through a lot in my leg. I hate to admit how much the first mile is a liar really helps me out, but I went from mile 1 to minute 20, so that's like 7-8 minutes, and it flew by. So first mile's a liar, personal favorite hack. Guys, oh my god. So all of my pains before aside, this is a really good run. I hit 2 miles, 4 minutes-ish left, and I feel so good. Okay, that's 30 minutes, 2.3 miles. Considering I haven't run consistently for a couple weeks, that's really good. I'm very proud of this bounce back week. I stuck to my other, I'm gonna pause. I gassed myself a little at the end. I saw that there were 4 minutes left and I was like, hell yeah, let me just go. But the last 4 minutes were actually pretty fun. I still feel a little bit in my left calf shin area, but also my right knee just falling apart. But once I got through that first mile, it really, loosened up a lot of things. I think part of that might have been I had been doing like butt kicks and high knees and pogo jumps and stuff before my run to help warm up some of my muscles, and I didn't do as many today. I did a couple, but then I was like, I have to leave. I have things to do today. But this is also a little trial for me in how to do, a Sunday morning long run. Granted, it's only 30 minutes and they will get longer and the days will get shorter and it'll get a little bit more tricky, but my husband and I usually get breakfast out on Saturdays. So knowing that I can like get up, go for a run, and then get breakfast, it's a very nice little treat for me. But that is all for running. You guys might see a little bit of D&D stuff, but thank you so much for joining me on my bounce back week, and I will check in with you guys next week about my progress towards a 5K. Hi, Brian. It's so fun though. Love it. I totally lied. We're not done yet. I have met that last goal, which means that's done. And now I have my new 5K specific. I don't know how I feel about my workout plan, but I'm feeling pretty good about this little schedule right here. A little party time back there. But I have just under 3 weeks to get to a 5K. Yay!